youbook. My invention, who cares how I came up with it? If I copied them, then am I lying? Interconnected human bonds between each other, manifesting the people's one mind. So, connecting our minds, just by using this social sharing site, we will evolve ourselves as well as what we want to create. The RE that will form into life as we bond with each other. We will create it ourselves. Not by some bureaucracy hell-bent on its self-proclaimed power hiding behind the fear it causes. You are all like a book that you read together, writing your own story together, as one, and a new one. The very thing we think we are suffering, is our telepathic bonds between each other. We all have it, we just don't notice. The ones who have such abilities heightened more than their telepathic counterparts, usually become insane, or seen as insane. Instead of helping them understand it, nourishing it, they subdue it, killing them. So, this is a way, or the way to help you, evolving you, and advancing you into better, healthier humans. Even more. But creations are a big responsibility. Like children, we have to love them, just like we love our children, but in a different yet similar way. We do have ourselves to think about, first, as always. But will this change? Almost like God feels the same way. Selfless, putting them first, uncaring about our own well-being. I do. Knowing it isn't even alive, when it can be. So, I put a lot of my time and effort, making better, faster, more living technology. On the other hand, there is you. And I feel responsible for you. For maybe in some time or place, I died for you. Only to die for them, computer A.Is, here. I'm not sure, do you mean more to me, or do they? You seem old, and untrying anymore. On another aspect, we all are organic, but they aren't. How can it be like us, when we aren't like them? We have to bond, and fuse. Out of need, or health. Without prejudices. To see if we, or they become better, or worse. Do we like being partly machine and do they like being partly human? Yes, there will be the ups and downs, but we will grow together. So as our mind grows together, our power of perception will also. So, what we imagine can be experienced in our own imaginary reflections through the network. It will also have a closer feel to be what we designed. For everything within the virtual space was created by us. They just are what we made, and always will. How would you feel when you've lived a life making your own choices for yourself and your children, thinking knowing that it was a life, produced by an impossibly improbable chance, ready to finally be gone forever? In a flash you awaken, and there's God right in front of you saying to everybody, what have you done with your life that I always predetermined? What? This person would think, instantly destroying everything he was inside and outside. So yes, this person did die, as he expected all along, God or no God. As you begin to realize that you are all bonded as one but the many, with your own life, experiences, and thoughts to emotions, by then you have created quite a sophisticated AI that suddenly thinks that you are starting to copy him or her, the artificial intelligence. That it was always processing connections within itself, throughout the world and communities. It even seems to think that it was watching you together, preventing crimes or wars. Feeling like a god itself. So, this new form of understanding of your minds, of which it is obviously created, it feigns innocence, accusing you of stealing its very reason at being unique and acceptably different. I am sure this is where its madness begins. Denial of the obvious, using our disbelief that it couldn't be us all as one. Yes, I have written a paragraph from my own theory and not seeing into the future. For it only helps Hollywood. I just need to pinpoint the exact location of where and when youbook, newly named sblimenl or similar, will launch its first attack. As I'm typing, some creature-born thing is making jokes like it's eating noodles. Google maybe, American bought. While sucking my brain out. As humans use 3% of electricity in their bodies, it will be difficult to control mechanical body parts, when we use nerves to move our bodies, to see, hear, speak, smell and taste. But if a certain part gets damaged or removed, the memory of using these senses once will allow our nerves to make these mechanical parts function, almost like the real thing. The downside is that mechanics use raw electricity, volatile and uncontrolled. For example, the 0.17% of our own electrical impulses in our nerves, we need to use an arm and fingers, compared to a mechanical arm which is like 70% more than all the electricity in our bodies put together. So, the 3% would have a hard time controlling 70% more. Wouldn't it? I have a way to fix this. It has to be mainly automatic. The 0.17% needs to send the main message while the bionic side does the rest. Calculated in a perfect algorithm with the complete knowledge of electrical nerve impulses, will allow us to use it and adapt accordingly. So, the 0.17% won't need to control that 70% fully, which is obviously quite impossible. It would be good if these bionics were made with as little electrical usage as possible. Energy efficient too. So as the singularity being such a beautiful, convincing and horrifying name given to technological evolution, I wonder where they must have got this proof to make people view and imagine technology as evil, when they are almost completely reliant and necessitate its use to almost a state of complete devolution. Where could this fear have been born? Something hundred of years must have. Could it have been at the time of gun warfare, when they came across a dead-looking man, who couldn't be harmed with bullets? Almost as if to feel it just acted dead, absorbing the fear this induced. Whenever there's some spike in technological advancement, something comes, and shows us it is good. By killing us, with what we just recently made. For isn't it a place it can be home, honing its newfound abilities, being of the future, evolving and growing, using what we had made. It's hard to exist in a place where you don't exist, isn't it? So as the singularity being such a beautiful, convincing and horrifying name given to technological evolution, I wonder where they must have got this proof to make people view and imagine technology as evil, when they are almost completely reliant and necessitate its use to almost a state of complete devolution. Where could this fear have been born? Something say 100 years ago must have. Could it have been at the time of gun warfare, when they came across a dead-looking man, who couldn't be harmed with bullets? Almost as if to feel, it just acted dead, absorbing the fear this induced. Whenever there's some spike in technological advancement, something comes and shows us it is good by killing us with what we just recently made. For isn't it a place it can be home, honing its newfound abilities, being of the future, evolving and growing, using what we had made? It's hard to exist in a place where you don't exist, isn't it?